It's 5 o'clock here in London, and I am Elena Sinel, the founder of Teens in AI, welcoming you here. We have two incredible speakers for you today to listen to. One of them is already on the call. Efe, hi, how are you?
Oh, I am awesome. Nice to see you and be part of this amazing accelerator today. And I know it's going to be, you've been working really hard, everybody. So hello.
Thank you so much. So everyone, we have two speakers. So the first one, I'm hearing myself. Where am I hearing myself from? So if you might have a mobile. Yeah, perfect. I no longer hear myself. So Efe is joining us from London, and she is a youth mentor, and she is just the most inspiring person whose job today is here to inspire you. And so she's here for you because she is just incredible. She has that skill that not everyone has, that is just able to hopefully give you that boost that will carry you through for the rest of the accelerator for the next 2 weeks, because I know it's going to be very intense, and at some points you will be wondering what's happening. It's becoming so intense. There is so much learning, and you have to learn so fast. You will be working with mentors across different time zones sometimes, and so we would like to bring the kind of people who we know will really benefit you and hopefully boost your confidence and help you learn to believe in yourself, and because you are amazing. And so we are all here to support you on your journeys. And so I'm so delighted. This will be the first speaker of the entire accelerator, and so she's with us here today, and it's over to you, Efe.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction. There's a lot to live up to, but I am going to make sure I do. So I hear that all of you, my young technologists and innovators, and young innovators who are creating new ideas to change our world for the better. I'm so excited for you to be able to start this journey today and to be part of that journey with you. So as Elena said, I am Efe Ezekial. I'm a youth mentor. I'm an educator. I'm a public speaker. I work with young people up and down the country in the UK, and from every single background, every single religion, culture, anywhere you can imagine. That's the work that I do. So I know that on this journey of life, it's not been straightforward or easy, or, the time that they're in now, which is a crazy time in the world. And there's so many things that we need to think about, that we need to have ideas for, use our creativity, find problems that we need to solve, because I know that's what you're doing at the moment, becoming the most wonderful problem solvers. And most importantly, making sure that you do hard work. So that's my job, really, making sure that all the young people that come into my life, and now it's you guys today, that everything that you think about and want to change, that you make sure that it's from the heart and that you're passionate about it. So that's why I chose what I choose to do every single day, because I absolutely love young people, and I love the way they think, and I love the things that they're interested in. I love the way that you love popular culture, music, and today is technology. So with me in the technology space, I've been an educator for Google and YouTube, making sure that young people know how to use the internet in a caring, compassionate, empathetic, and thoughtful way. And so when you're now creating, I always want you to think about, what is this that I'm doing, and how is it going to truly impact the world for a really progressive way of thinking, creating new perspectives for people, and maybe seeing things in a different way, and maybe creating a different world as well, because we also know that the structures that are here now haven't always been working. So you have the ability, because I know all of you, amazing, incredible, full of life, and look where you have come today. And a lot of time people say that, young people are the future. But you're not just the future, you are now. This is your time now. So I want you to be really excited about this opportunity, all right? Because opportunity is everything. And I know when I was your age, there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, but the opportunity wasn't there for me. But now you've got something like this, Teens in AI, artificial intelligence, where you are learning. And I know it's not going to be easy because they're going to be throwing lots of things at you, challenges, you know, wanting you to think on your feet. So I know you've got the stuff. So I just want you to think about that. So let me just tell you a little bit more about me and the work that I've been doing as a mentor, because a lot of people call themselves mentors now. But I started being a mentor over 12 years ago now. It's a long time and I still look cute. Thank you very much. But it's not been easy. And the most important thing that I wanted young people to see was their absolute potential, but not just have that potential, realize that if they shine their light and aren't afraid to be great, then that is how you are going to truly inspire other people to do great things in the world. So I started a company called You Shine, I Shine, okay? You shine, I shine. Because the most important thing is that I wanted people to shine. And a lot of the times in my life, I didn't really feel like I had a place to shine or to be who I wanted to be or to share my expertise or my intelligence, because a lot of time I wasn't made to feel like I was intelligent. I don't know if any of you are same background as me, but you know, I was brought up by my mum, my amazing supreme mum, and it wasn't like we had a lot of money. But my mum gave the best of herself. But she also told me that, you know, being a young lady, also being a lady, a black lady, a person of color, the opportunities probably wouldn't always be there for me, even if I was clever or worked really hard. And so I took all of that on. And you know what? I made a promise to myself that regardless of the obstacles the world or society would have for me, I would never, ever let that stop me doing from what I wanted to do in my heart. And so my first thing was being creative, because I was incredibly creative. And then the next thing was I love drama, I love dance, I love performing. I'm a bit of a showgirl. So yes, I do sing as I speak. And then the last thing was the joy of technology. You know, my mum loved technology as well. She loved Japan because she always thought they were the technology leaders of everything. And so I just thought, how can I combine all this stuff? And so I went to university and I did a media technology degree. And at the time, we're like, people like, why? You know, but in my heart, I knew that technology was the future. I also knew that media would be the future. And this was before social media and the epicness of it. So I was kind of a trendsetter. So for me, putting those two together, plus all of those other things, I knew that the future that I saw would be so expansive and that I could do so much in that space. And then we fast forward to today, social media is everything. It impacts our lives so much. And then putting on the technology of artificial intelligence and, you know, the way that technology is shaping every single thing in our life. We are at a precipice where we can do so many great things. And when we understand that, you know, we can literally change lives. And sometimes it isn't even in the creation, it's just in the idea of the things that we have. So for me, we need to realize, you know, I realized that I was working on a global scale. And so the words and everything that I did had an impact, not just on me, not just on my community, but on the world at large. So I want you to realize that everything that you are doing now has a global impact, okay? And that impact, you don't even know how that will change people's lives. So going from there, I knew that as I went into my life after I'd finished my degree, you don't always, you know, need a degree. I'm an advocate of realizing that the path to your success or your enlightenment or you changing the way the system is through understanding the power of yourself. And also that's another thing that I want to teach and make sure you understand. We are so powerful, all of you incredibly powerful, but it's kind of like that super Spider-Man movie, you know, or Superman. What are you going to use it for? You're going to use it for good. And that's why I love this. And that's why, you know, I'm part of this, because I know that we can do so much good for people in our lives and the people all around the world. And so, and also with that, show them that it doesn't always have to be the people that we're used to seeing, and the understanding that diversity is everything. Your diverse and divergent thinking will literally be able to harness ways to open the gateways for people understanding others differently, and realizing that just because we don't look alike or think alike or believe the same things, you know, we can still really do really great things together, even though it comes from a different perspective. So I want you to have that at hand and realize that when you're working in your teams, because I hear that you're working in wonderful teams together, that you have the opportunity to tap into somebody else's greatness that may not even have the same ideas or ideology as you. And even if they don't agree with you, that is a plus. Sometimes we live in a world and we think, you know, oh no, someone doesn't agree with me, so I'm not going to hang out with them. Those are the exact people that you must hang out with, because the way that they see the world is going to encourage and empower you to change your thinking and also work in a different way. So for me, you know, it's about change. It's also about energy. Anything that I have, I always put energy into it. So in the next 2 weeks, I want you to make sure that you have the biggest, most boldest energy. Don't be afraid of telling people about what you think and how you think things should work. Always politely though. We're always polite and very nice, but always make sure that you get your voices heard. Because I think also with the advent of the power of technology and what we can do with it, it's allowed us to hear different voices and given so many people different types of platforms. And I think for me now, in the time that we're at, that is crucial, because it's not only crucial in the way that technology is designed, because we know now we live in the world of an internet of things. So how are those things going to be designed so it fits you, it fits me, it fits, you know, people down the road, it fits people, you know, across the Atlantic, it fits people all over the world, instead of being, you know, controlled or understood by only a certain sect of people. For me, that's really, really important. And only people who are open to realizing that they are the creators of today and tomorrow can we do really, really great things. So what is your product going to be? What is your service going to be? How are you going to, you know, encourage people to live an even greater life? You know, because for me, with technology, you guys have the power to answer a lot of the issues and topics that are plaguing today. So my one, you know, some of the topics that are really important to me, of course, which is a highlight in the world now, racism. You know, what can we do in that space? I know you've got some specific ones, but for me, it's always been about that, to be able to see the world in such a wonderful, colourful array of things. My other thing that I'd really love to look at is childhood obesity. It was a big issue for me when I was younger, and I want to be able to see how we can encourage people of all ages to be healthier, from the way that they exercise, what they eat. And I think diet also is really important, but not only a diet of the body, but a diet of the mind. So for me, all of those things are really, really important. And the last thing for me is, whatever work that you do, how are you going to put that kind of love in it? Because anyone you go to, all of my workshop, anything I do, the foundation of it is love. I know it's a bit soppy and sappy, people, but we forget that's one of the most important things. In any business or any, you know, any technology that is built because someone has loved seeing their creation and their ideas come to life. Love is everything. It determines everything. The relationships that we have, what is the product or service or technology that you're going to build to have a relationship with your audience or your clients or your customers, you know, or you know, so your followers, all of those things. Though that is the fundamental thing of everything, love. All right. How is that love going to be inclusive? How is that love going to encourage people to want to be part of what you're trying to educate them with? Because we'll get into education in a minute. And how is your technology, your artificial intelligence, then going to allow people to be flexible, create that agility so you can expand it even more, so it can grow and be bigger, not just in what you're doing, but in other people's existence. You know, these are really big thinkings for me. You know, whenever I'm doing anything, also it has to be about how am I encouraging people to think differently and be of purpose. And I know all of you are, you know, I know that for you, all of you there, I know that it was stiff competition to get there, but you did it because you were able to expand your mind and show that you had new ways of thinking, doing, being, seeing. You know, you have that. And how are you going to shape that? So not only do you grow, but other people grow from your ideas and your consciousness and your thoughts, because we don't realize anybody who has the power of technology is ultimately a thought leader. And they have a great responsibility, and they are role models. So this is also what all of you are. You are incredible role models for the future of technology and the future of the world. You know, I know you may think that's quite a heavy title to have, but let me tell you, it's one of the greatest things to have. You know, I realize that I am a role model. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, because, you know, it's my imperfection that really is my greatest example to the world. You know, it really is. You know, and you're gonna have to be dealing with imperfections in whatever you build. And it's, you know, it's that kind of, how are you going to reboot that imperfection? How are you going to keep being an example to others in everything that you do? And then also realizing that sometimes you may not always get it right. And I think also, you know, with a lot of young people that work with a lot of people, they think that failure or realizing that something hasn't quite worked out is wrong, but it's not, because we have to realize that you're going to be building stuff and it may not be right at the first step, but realize if you keep going, working on it, reshaping it, remodeling it, you know, you're going to end up with such a wonderful, great piece of work, art and technology that will, you know, you would have learned from and be able to do even better. And I think also with whatever you're doing, it's also about giving it that kind of space and not be so heavy on yourself. Give yourself space to think and realize that answers don't always come all the time. You know, I always call them, anybody who knows me, I call it angel thoughts. You know, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I've got it. And then I'm like, I don't got it. I don't have it. And then I stop and realize, and something goes ping, and it's like an angel thought in my head. My dance teacher taught me this, and then it made me revise it and do it better. So I want you to have that at the forefront that you do. And also just going forward, make sure that you use all the resources that are given to you. You know, we always think maybe resources are stuff that, you know, is educational pamphlets or, you know, something that we've watched online. But resources, most importantly, are people. And I hear you've got like the most awesome, amazing, fresh and fly mentors. So make sure you use these resources. You have me. And so I want you to think about some questions that you'd love to ask me, because keeping a really high positive sense of self, knowing that you are so important, you are so important in the evolution of humanity. You know, has anyone ever said that to you? You are so important in the evolution of humanity. You know, when I realized that quite a few years ago, I had to stop in my tracks. I'm like, me? And something said, yes, you. So I'm passing that on to you now. You know, that's my gift for you to think about and pass on to your friends. That you doing the work that you are doing is of the highest order. And it's about you realizing the responsibility you have, not putting pressure on yourself, but realizing the responsibility you have to do the best that you can. And I know that all of you will do it. And you know what fills my heart the most is that I know that you're from all over the world. So the impact that you're going to have from everything that you've learned, everything that you've thought about, everything that you've given, maybe everything that you've been able to educate others with, is a global force. And having a global force is quite something. And, you know, the way we get together, that's power. That truly is power of people gathering to do stuff in a space and a time and place in history that changes everything is quite incredible. It truly is incredible. And so for me, what I want you to also take away is realizing your strength, realizing that it's people power, realizing how you are going to shape and shift this new world that we're going into. I know they're calling it new normal. And I'm realizing that the normal that we had before wasn't working. Personally, in my life, it wasn't working. And so you get to help create a new, I don't want it to be normal, a new, wonderful, creative world. And that to be the basis, because I know that teens in AI is about education. So most importantly, how are we, how are all of us going to educate the future? How are we going to educate ourselves? And how are we going to educate people who have gone before, who are coming? That is the basis of everything as well. Love, education, creativity, innovation, you know, energy, and most importantly, putting a smile on your face, because people forget that we need to smile when we're doing new things, and be happy, and realizing that where you guys, you know, the opportunities you have now, my parents it would blow their mind about the opportunities all of you have now. So don't ever, you know, feel downhearted. Always know that you can create your future. You are creating it, and you're doing something to create other people. And as I hear, you are the change makers. And so, you know, when you're a change maker, you're a creative technology change maker. It really, I hope it fills your heart, and realizing that, you know, you get to have entrepreneurship, enterprise, and complete hold of the way that we're going forward. You know, you are you can create so much. So I just wanted to say, I hope that has filled you up. I hope that you feel really inspired. I want you to go forth, feel successful at just being on your first day, and may you feel tremendously successful going into the future, and not even to the future, 2 weeks time when you're done, and being proud of yourselves, and then going forward with that pride and doing really great things in the AI space, really and truly, and accelerate your lives and accelerate the lives of others. Wonderful. So if you've got any questions, I hope, you know, I haven't overspoken too much, and I really want you to be part of this, and yeah, be great. Woohoo!
Amazing. No, that was amazing. I think I'm going to ask everyone to watch this talk every morning, every day, to start their day by watching this talk again, because that was so incredible, so inspiring. That is exactly what I expected you to do. So this is better than Tony Robbins, because it really does motivate them. So I'm so happy that you have agreed and accepted my invitation to speak at this event. And I know these young people really do need to be motivated, because right now, as you have rightly put it, we are living in very unprecedented times, and these young people really don't know what will happen. Many of them are wondering, am I going to take my exams? Am I not going to take my exams? All my exams got cancelled. What's going to happen to me? Some of them are at university, but it's not really the same as it was before. It will not be, and it's just incredible. But I wanted to give them that hope that really life and everything they create it's their making, and it's in their hands. And so this opportunity is really about helping them uncover their life purpose, or unleash their potential, if you like. And hopefully this is what will happen. But it's people like you who really do make such a massive difference to their confidence. Particularly stories like yours are so inspiring, because I know you have quite a journey you've had, and so I do have everyone is just loving and saying thank you. That was an amazing talk. I really enjoyed it. And Sarah says thank you so much for this, feeling very inspired and motivated to go and create great things. Arian is saying, thank you so much. That was very motivational and I enjoyed it. Everyone is just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Trevor, who is tuning in from Nairobi, do you remember I mentioned we have this boy from a farm? Yeah, so he's actually not even from Nairobi, he's outside of Nairobi in Kenya, and he's tuning in every day to work and now listening to you as well. He's saying this is very motivating, and to be honest, watching this could make anyone smile and inspired. So you have done what I've asked you to do, and I'm so happy. I just wanted to kick off this live stream. It will be every day at 5 o'clock. I want them to come back here because I want to bring them the most incredible, inspiring people. So they don't have any questions yet, but they're all super, super grateful, and we really are grateful. But I do have some questions. I wanted to have a conversation with you, as you know, because I really want to know, and I think they would want to know as well, how do you uncover your life purpose? At what point did you know that what you will be doing for the rest of your life is just motivating, inspiring, and being a youth mentor to, hundreds, thousands of young people across the UK and possibly the world? When did you realize this is it?
You know what? I was a very strange child. So I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, like from 3, I'd just be like teacher, I'd have my little dollies and I'd be talking to them. But I also wanted to be an actress and a singer. So I didn't know which way I would go. And so what I always want young people to realize is that it comes in stages. And so for me, I went into the media because I knew that's something I loved. But while I was there, it kept niggling me and said, come on, you want to teach. But I knew I couldn't teach maths and English because that, I'd make kids fail their exams. So I did a little bit of volunteering. So I say to young people, volunteer if you can afford to. All right. Or you've got YouTube now. You've got all these educators. Go in, see what they're doing, and study them. Study people you love. And then something just said, right, today is the day. In my 20s, it said, today's the day. You need to change people's lives, and you love to speak. So that is what you're going to do for your lifetime. It was like, again, my angel thought. And since then, I haven't stopped. And, it's a longer story than that. But for me, when you feel it in your gut, it's your instinct. And I say to everybody, follow your instincts. Never be afraid and take a risk. Because at the time, people were like, what's a mentor? What are you talking about? Are you crazy? Who needs mentors? Why are people even going to employ you? Why do you care about people's mental health? Everybody questioned me every single way along the way. 10 years later, everybody knows that mental health is the most important thing. Everybody needs a mentor. And you know what? Thank you, angels, because they served me well. So yes, that is the truth. So listen to yourself.
So, young people on this program, if they were to look for a mentor, where would they find a mentor? Because I also believe in the power of mentorship. I have a number of people I reach out for help whenever I'm stuck, and I'm stuck a lot, but I'm so lucky I'm surrounded by my tribe of people who I can reach out and say, I really need your help. I'm stuck, like something, I can't know everything. So as a CEO and founder, you just come across these things in your life when you're just stuck in it. I just don't know how to write this, or I don't know how to do contracts. It's just not my thing. My background is in politics. So how do I do, other stuff related to running a business? And I had to learn so much, but I had people who were helping me all the time. People would reach out and say, I can definitely help you with that. I have an hour today. How can I help? But these are young people, ages, 12 to 18, 12 to 19. Many of them don't even know how to ask for help. They're very shy. They're very introverted. They're they're so used to staring in their screens. They're not really used to communicating, right? It's that generation. How can we encourage them to reach out and ask for help? I always encourage, if you're 16 plus, do by all means go on LinkedIn, and this is where you start building your network. But where else? What can they do? How can they find the help they need?
Absolutely. So like you say, you've got to, 1, be aware that you need the help. 2, Don't be afraid. I think it's fear that holds us back and people saying no. So what I usually do in my head, I've seen the person that I've targeted. So it's fine. All right, step back. Find someone who you admire. Everybody usually now that you admire is in your Instagram. They have a Snapchat. They're on Facebook. They're on Twitter. Don't be afraid to DM someone. All right. And tell yourself that they've said yes to you before you've even contacted them. So I visualize, all right, I see them saying, yes, Efe, you can have this. Of course, I'm going to give this to you. So you've got to do that. And if you're afraid to ask, you have the power of your phone. Create a video, all right, of saying what you want. Say, hi, I'm Jane, and I would really love you for you to be my mentor, because it's a video, all right? So it doesn't mean that you're asking. The video's there, and then you can just send it to them, and then it just takes it out of it, and then people will be like, oh, this is quite inventive, all right? And ask them for what you want. And then they're either going to say yes or no, but a lot of the time people do want to help you. Remember that. People love helping people. I know we watch the news and we watch all this stuff online and people are sometimes a bit mean, but people love helping people. So once you remember that, and you know what, once you even just think about it in your mind, people will find you. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's some kind of superpower going on. People will come out and help you. So come out of the woodwork. So you'd be like, oh, I didn't even ask for you. And there you are. So I want you to really believe in yourself and also believe in your talents. You know, I never believed that I could do this, you know, before I started. But every day I grew that confidence and I'm like, yes, I'm the one. I'm the one. There's no one like me on here. No one can do what I can do. And once you realize that, and it's not in a big-headed way, it's in a very humble way, because your talents are, I don't know if you believe in God or whoever you believe in, they are given to you for a reason. So please make sure you answer the call of your gift of yourself and let people help you.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Efe. So, I mean, be ready. They will be, doing videos of themselves and sending them to you and asking you, Efe, please be my mentor. And just so you know, because and I know, they will be following you on Instagram and everywhere else, because I think you're just so incredible. So I do know that we have got one or two questions there or comments. I don't know whether Harv, you have seen anything specific, but if not, then I do have, yes, a lot of thanks again to you, because you are so inspiring. And somebody said I could listen to her talk for hours and not get tired. She is so amazing. Thank you, Efe. You already have your, the followers, and they already know about you, and they listen to you and everything, and lots of positive comments from young people.
Beautiful. Thank you.
But I wanted to ask you for some maybe some practical tips. They are all looking into vlogging, and they're all looking into, obviously, vlogging for business, but also they want the world to learn about what they're doing in this program.
Yes.
So some of them have been telling me yesterday, I want to vlog, could I also help? Could I also do something? Some of them would like some tips on where they start, and what would you advise them? Because I know this is your thing, media and technology. Could you offer us any advice, if we have some teenagers who are very keen to vlog about their experience and their journey, because it's the first time they're doing this program, what advice would you offer to them?
Okay, so the first advice is get excited. I get excited about everything, all right? So when you're excited, it makes you want to pick up your phone. It's like what you are now is your documenters of your life, okay? So you don't have to show your private stuff, just the stuff that you're doing in this space. So I want you to realize that not just videos, but take pictures and start creating a story, because we're all storytellers. So I want you to find elements of what you're doing to tell the story to others in this space. What do you want them to know about you? What do you want them to know about what you're doing? What do you want them to know about what you can do for them? And then on top of that, how are you going to then inspire them to learn something new, teach them something about who you are as a person and why what you are doing is so incredibly important? All right, so that's that part of it. And then with the filming, simple things like, make sure your lighting's right, You don't have to film like an hours long. It can be like snippets, maybe like 10 seconds of this. Or maybe you're going to record some of the stuff that you're doing on Zoom with the chats that you're coming into. A lot of the time, you know what I do? I'm just talking into camera. I'm like, yeah, so this is what I did today. So I was with the teams in AI, and this is what I learned at the moment. What are you learning to do? Ask the audience a question so they can engage with you. And then also do it with joy, you know, because people like joyful people. A lot of people are very serious. So sow the joy of what you're doing and how you're going to change people's lives. And then post every day. Don't be ashamed to post. People want to see you. You know, some bloggers, they are so boring, but they've got massive audiences because they're consistent, all right? And they show you stuff that you thought, okay, it's going to make me think a bit differently. So, and I say, do it today, because I'm going to do it today. The advice I'm giving you, I'm going to do it for myself. So I think those are the kind of the main tips. Yeah. And don't be afraid. Again.
Fantastic. Where do you think they should be doing this? On Instagram or this new platform called TikTok, which seems to have, you know, everyone is talking about it. Which one would you recommend that they use?
I'd say both. If you can do TikTok, you can be like, you can do a little dance video, because I'm always on TikTok. I ain't gonna lie, doing my new dance moves. But then you can post informational stuff on there. 10 seconds of you maybe doing some code and inspiring people. That would be awesome. And it's just 15-second blocks with a little tag. This is me coding. Girls coding from Africa, coding from Mexico. People will love that. And then on Instagram, you can use to do the longer ones. Like, yes, this has been my day. Maybe you can edit something together that you can put on the IGTV and start a series of teens in AI, right? So, and then, you know, the world is yours. Use all the platforms that you can, but be consistent. And that is the one thing, because that's when people start to know who you are, if you want them to.
Amazing. Now, these are great tips. So everyone watching, I hope you have been making notes, because, you know, if he's here to give you her top tips on how to get your story out there. And I think it should come out, your story out there. So, and the last question I have, so they have these 2 weeks, it's day one only. What do you think they should focus on, the top 3 priorities from your perspective? How do they make sure that, you know, they remain uplifted, believing in themselves, knowing that they can do it, knowing they are the winners already, you know? And what happens also at that very last stage when some of them get the top prize and others may not? How do they deal with this? How can we make them believe that, for me personally, they all are winners, and I always tell them, look, it honestly doesn't matter that the judges didn't, you know, judge you at the very top or whatnot. For me, the fact that you have become part of this competition and part of this journey is a win already. But some of them become upset and, you know, oh, I have failed, I have lost. You know, can you talk to us about the failures and your top tips? You know, how do you make sure that they stay there at the very top, knowing that they can do it?
Okay, all right. So let me put this into 2 parts. So one, you're on day one, and then just keeping that consistent flow of what you're doing is just really just focusing on just the opportunity you have, realizing that you are here to learn. All right. Learning is one of the greatest things you can do in life. All right. Realizing that people have given their time in order for you to be the best human team person that you can be at the moment is such a gift. So realizing you have a gift at the moment. All right. And realizing that it's your passion that got you there and will take you to the end. And also realize you're making new friends. The best thing in the world. You know, we forget that, you know, meeting people, let alone all the other information and disciplines that you're going to learn and the challenges that you're going to uncode and rethink about. You are making networks that will literally change your life. All right. And that is one of the most important things. So even 2, 3, 10 years from now, you may meet and work with people who you work with on this program, that you may be able to create something, create AI that will change people's lives. So your network is the most important thing. realizing the opportunity that is not afforded to everybody is wonderful. And you are gaining an education that is above top level. For me, that's the top thing. That's part A. All right. And for me, I'd be happy just to be with you talking for an hour is a joy to me. And then secondly, if you don't get the top prizes, all right, as Elena says, you've already won. All right. You've already won. However, okay, don't let this be disheartening. If any of you have ever watched X Factor, you know that sometimes you may not get the #1 prize for your talent, but you don't know the opportunity that's going to come to you from doing this, all right, from being part of such a wonderful opportunity and program. So you know what, when you realize that you are not just a winner, but you have your greatest gift is that you always want to be engaged and part of something greater, then you have life itself. You have won at life itself, because there's not so many young people who have the get up and go and the will and want to do better in their lives and for others. So you know what, babies, you are all winners, you are all fantastic, and you are great. And just remember that you are in a space and place which is one of the best places to ever be in. You are right now. Forget the future. You are now, baby.
Oh my goodness, you're amazing. I can just listen to you forever. That's incredible. And so we do have one question, which will be probably the last question now. Is somebody's asking you, do you meditate? Ooh.
Oh, yes. All right. Let me tell you something. I meditate. I pray. Meditation is one of the greatest things you can do. You know, one of the hardest things, to be still and clear your mind. But sometimes it isn't. Meditation, people always think it is like being a Buddha and, you know, being in the space. Sometimes my meditation is when I'm running. Sometimes my meditation is talking to people. Sometimes my meditation is smelling a flower or looking at, you know, a child playing. So the word meditation sometimes has such a big and hard, complex way of thinking about things. Just make it simple. And meditation really is enjoying the moment. So I enjoy every single moment that is afforded to me. And I enjoy everything that comes into my life. And I realize that everything is always working out for me and for everybody else, even when it doesn't feel like it. And you can do that through prayer. And when you realize that, you know, everything is love and it's life and it's moving, the world will just work out for you. So yes, I do meditate. Okay, but meditation means a lot and everything to me. What a beautiful question. Thank you.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful way then to end our talk. And I am just really, really grateful, Efe, that you know, have agreed to come and inspire us all and leave us with so much to think about. So thank you so much, Efe. We are waiting for our second speaker of the day. We're just still waiting for her to tune in, but really grateful. And I don't want to keep you in here for long, because obviously we did ask you to just come for half an hour. But there is just so much for me to ask you and so much for you to tell us, I feel. And questions and comments are coming, and everyone is just really grateful and thankful for your time and for all the inspiration. I will quite literally make this a compulsory viewing for everyone.
Thank you.
So that whenever they feel, you know, in doubt, or whenever they feel like they're not achieving, you know, I will always say, okay, here's the talk. It's, you know, by Efe. You have to listen to this, and then let's talk again about, you know, how you feel. So thank you so much. I'm really grateful, Efe. Thank you. We will post this on Twitter and on LinkedIn and everywhere else. And I really hope the world learns about, you know, about you and what you're able to offer to the young people. And I absolutely expect everyone to follow you. I think they would have found you by now, and they will have taken your tips on board. And I expect my very first vlogs to see them probably, you know, this evening. And we'll see what happens, but I will keep you updated by email, and you will hear from us, and I'm really grateful. Thank you, Efe.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Oh, thank you. Take care.